Alright, I just got the green light to go check out this trailer I found on Marketplace for an amazing deal. We'll see if it's actually a piece of junk or not. There it is. This thing looks pretty good. I think it says a 2018. These tires look new. Boards are in good shape. I don't have that adapter with me. I'll just have to take his word. He said the lights work. All right, so I was just in the middle of this tree project I'm doing here, and this 6x12 trailer popped up on Marketplace. I got this thing for $1,000. It's a 2018 with a title. There's a really old video on my channel of what I'm about to do, but let's do some upgrades to this thing and make it really easy to use. So the goal here is to make these sides taller and closed in, like with this mesh here. So I'm gonna cut off this top piece, add in some metal, and then close in the sides. That was getting a little sketchy even for me. There's two little spot welds on each of these fenders holding this top piece on. I'm gonna try it with the Sawzall. I can't get a grinder in there. Is that working? Kinda. Not really. A bunch of leaves around here. It's probably pretty stupid to use that, but I got a bucket of water, so. Now I'm just using a heavy wire wheel on a grinder to take some of the burrs off of the cuts we just made. I found it works very effectively, and they're pretty cheap to get from Harbor Freight. All right, well, I just finished up. I got 11 of these to 13 inches and 2 of them to 11 inches. I'm gonna deburr these. See how good that works, pretty well. So I went around and cleaned off the paint from all of the posts sticking up, and I have my extension pieces here. In theory, I'm gonna line them up the best I can, and I'm gonna use another piece kind of on the back like this to get it started as straight as possible. This won't be perfect, but it'll be close enough. Something just like that, and then I'll get the weld started. That square might work a little bit better. We'll try that. Yeah, so it ain't perfect, but it's gonna be close enough for what we're doing here. Kind of see what I'm gonna be doing there. Do this to all of them. So now that's one solid piece. Go around, do them all real quick. And the back ones are gonna be a little bit shorter because I didn't cut them off the same as the rest of them. Got the top piece sitting back down on here. We get a couple of them re-welded to the post that we extended there. Some of them have a big gap, but this stuff is pretty flimsy. We can work with that and close it up before we weld. I went around and welded all of the ones that lined up pretty good. You can see this one's off pretty far. this beam has to go that way. So from here, I'm just gonna use a ratchet strap and crank on it. Now you can see how that's lining up where it was supposed to. It's just a big gap from where you can tell maybe I used the grinder or Sawzall on this one when we took it off. So that'll work. All right, you know, at the end here, I had some funky stuff going on because of how this rail was tied into the light. I just cut it short. So all I have to do is add a longer piece here and then extend this over the top like that. So I'm gonna get that welded up. Yeah, something like that is just fine. Now that everything's back to how it was, but taller, I'm gonna start thinking about closing these sides in. So this sheet's exactly 4 foot long. I'm gonna cut it in half, 24 inches. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut across here. So I got a bunch of things that are not going in my favor. It's pretty windy out today. I didn't prep any, I didn't clean any of the paint off. That's why some of the welds are gonna be terrible on this, but I'm gonna weld every single one all the way around. We shouldn't have any problem with strength. So I was looking at this, and once I get to this front piece to weld the mesh in here, you know, on these outsides, I don't have a face in this corner to, you know, set it against. Like, you know, I'm calling this a face. Over here, it doesn't have that. So I cut these 2 pieces of scrap. I'm gonna weld those in just so I have a surface here to weld the mesh to on the corners. All right, so the whole thing is fully welded there. It fought me a lot. I did end up using some paint stripper. I just brushed on paint stripper through the whole thing, pressure washed it off. It allowed me to weld it a lot quicker. So this stuff right here used to be the go-to and work amazing, but I think the EPA has removed the ingredient that makes it actually work. So don't buy that, it doesn't work. This stuff worked great. I brushed on 2 coats, waited about an hour between, and then just pressure washed. The paint flew right off. These things are awesome for your knees for stuff like this. Just got it all finished up. The last thing to do is to do a little bit of work with it. I'm gonna try it out with some firewood. All right, so this trailer is finished now. It is ready to be worked. A little proof of concept right there with the wood. It's nice. I'll be able to use this for something other than, you know, a lawnmower or a dresser or something like that. You can actually use the thing. So I guess I'm going to conclude this video, kind of wrap things up here.